All right, so once again, YouTube has presented me with another video that I can react to. And this one is called What It's Actually Like Being a New Player in Warframe. So let's just back out for a second and take a look. So this is Geek Media Central. So this has been posted for a little bit of time, about a month ago, right? So let's just read the description and zoom in here quickly. As a longtime Destiny player, I finally tried Warframe for the first time. In this video, I'll go over many of the complex systems and menus. I'll run through my playthrough experience so far and whether or not I'd recommend this to Destiny players. So, Destiny players. Now, this is completely by accident. This isn't me planned out because I've done Warframe and now doing Destiny content. It just happened to work out this way. So let's just watch this and see how it goes.
Soaring through space, overwhelmed by the scale of it all, yet fueled by the excitement of a new frontier. That's what starting Warframe actually feels like. I've put hundreds of hours into various MMOs and shooters, but nothing prepared me for starting Warframe as a newbie. In this video, I'll go over some of the complex systems and menus, I'll run through my playthrough experience so far, and whether or not I'd recommend this to Destiny players.
Okay.
To really understand my perspective on Warframe, let me quickly explain what I already know coming into the game, and I'll touch on the type of games I normally play. Existing knowledge of Warframe is easy to lay down because there's only 3 things I've heard of about this game. 1. It is a looter shooter with heavy emphasis on movement and different character types. 2. This game has been out since 2013, so it's older than Destiny 1. And
Yes.
3. There is an upcoming expansion set for winter 2024 called Warframe 1999. Now, I mentioned Destiny earlier. If you're like me and are looking for new games to try out in between episodes, then you'll definitely want to stick around. And as far as MMOs, I played Vanilla WoW up to Burning Crusade back in the day. I put in a ton of hours into BDO, Final Fantasy, and Lost Ark. Honestly, Lost Ark was one of my most enjoyable action MMORPG experience I ever had. I just wish content wasn't so heavily time-gated. Hopefully, that's not the case with Warframe. All in all, none of it is new to me anymore. I thought I'd seen it all, but Warframe is on a whole nother level. The sheer scale of Warframe makes every other game I've played feel like a walk in the park. 20 hours into the game, I find myself wondering how anyone could possibly keep track of it all. From navigating the various worlds, crafting weapons and mods, to understanding the nuances of combat mechanics.
Jackal.
It's a lot to absorb. And if you're not careful, it's easy to get bogged down in the details and lose sight of the fun.
Nicely done.
I want to take a minute here to iterate a few things. First, this video is focused on my impressions of the game coming over from Destiny. I want to make that clear so that you don't expect a guide or an overview of all the game's systems and mechanics.
I like that.
Also, I don't have a ton of subs or followers, so I didn't receive any of the so-called streamer privileges like gifting of Warframes or other items. Lastly, I did not spend any money on this game, and I do not plan to do that. I had the same average experience that you would have starting out. Navigation was first, and
I like how he just made those 3 points because as content creators, when we're playing Warframe, the fact of the matter is the experience is not the same to newer players or a player in general because we are constantly receiving gifts or being asked if it's okay to send gifts. You can turn them off, which is what I did, but it's not the same because you can literally get gifted everything and have it all and literally do none of the grind. And so it's really good that he said that. So,
and foremost in the systems to understand and overcome. The display of all the planets and their various missions is known as the star chart. There are 17 planets to traverse, each of these with about 10 different missions and 1 free roam area to complete bounties for NPCs. The missions are instanced with the same level design taking place every time you replay the mission. Think of it like running a Vanguard strike in Destiny.
Okay.
From what I've experienced, there are 6 different mission types: assassination, capture, defense,
a lot more than that.
mobile defense, rescue, and spy.
That's all that's open
Honestly,
to him right now.
Spy was the toughest for me. Every other mission type feels like a speed run. You're flying across the level, shooting enemies from afar, slicing them up close, platforming over death traps, capturing objectives, rescuing a hostage. Spy forces you to slow down and find hidden passages to the data or artifact you're searching for. And if you set off the alarm, it becomes a race against time to shut off the security systems and reach your goal. before time runs out.
Is it
It
visible?
was fun, don't get me wrong, but it definitely felt disjointed from the other modes,
No.
and I was railroaded to play a specific way, otherwise I'd lose and have to restart the whole mission. I think this feeling of disjointedness or fragmentation is something
Where's
that
my
may
mouse?
persist throughout Warframe,
Can't even find my mouse. Lewis Spy, baby. That's all I gotta say.
but I'll touch on that more later. With the time I've put in, I've managed to unlock 8 destinations. Keep in mind that
That's
I
great.
wasn't power grinding the campaign. I took some time to try out side missions, farm materials for some new guns and swords,
You can't really
as
power
well as
through the
incubate and
campaign.
raise a pet. That's something I definitely didn't expect coming into this game. There better be more pet options further into the game, because my Boy Scout here needs some friends.
There was a hell of an update back when Kome, I can't even talk, was released.
The star chart is vast and impressive, but lacks excitement. I guess the simplest way I can describe it is that there's a sense of progression without a sense of purpose. There is no big bad villain that is on a specific planet that we need to reach before he destroys the universe. There's no revelation about our Tenno history that will be finally discovered once we reach Phobos, for example. We're planet hopping, taking care of small missions for NPCs, and repairing our ship to unlock our Warframe's combat capabilities. Without an exciting overarching narrative to engage new players, the grind feels that much more oppressive and unrewarding.
So, say what you will. So, take into consideration that whoever's watching this video probably, at this point, if you're watching one of my videos, you played this game for a lot of hours, right? So, his impression is for the beginning of the game, which we all know is very, very tough for a new player, especially if you don't know anybody. So, you would just jump into this game, start going and doing mission nodes, and think that's all there is to this game. Because as we all know, the campaign or the story is pretty much buried at the other side of the star chart. So it's tough. I know what he's saying, but if you're invested in the lore, if you're invested in the story and learning, there's a lot of resources. There's the codex in game that you can use to learn who's who, what's what, materials, all that stuff. And there's so many NPCs on top of the few open worlds that there are. So plenty of different people to talk to in game as well, but definitely need to join a dojo too.
At the very least, they could make the Spectre fights at each junction more memorable and rewarding.
They're not great.
But I was able to cut through each Spectre with 3 to 4 melee attacks. Honestly, some of the mobs in the regular missions were harder
Game's
than
been
these
out.
quote-unquote
Long
boss
time.
fights.
So remember
Let's
that.
switch over now to weapons and talk about our Warframe's arsenal. Starting from the top down, we've got the Warframe itself. I should probably take a step back for a quick
Nakana.
explanation.
I loved it.
You don't actually play
Solid
as a
blade.
Warframe. You are a race of aliens known as Tenno. Warframes are the exosuits that you put on to enhance your abilities. There are so many options in the shop for Warframe suits and cosmetics. I love that we are given so many choices so that we can build craft to our heart's content. There are choices of Warframes from the market, then there are options from Nightwave, which is a seasonal activity, and even ways to earn them through your clan.
Yeah.
But with the multitude of suits and ways to earn them, we've also now come to my biggest issue with this game.
Uh-oh.
After 20 hours of playing, I still don't have access to a Warframe besides the one I started the game with.
Why?
I'll talk about this more later when I give
Why?
my final thoughts, but I really think Digital Extremes is doing themselves a disservice by not introducing new players to multiple Warframes. Getting back on track, Warframes and all other weapons need to be forged at the foundry. You need to buy or earn a set of Warframe blueprints for each suit. After that, each suit needs the following crafted: Neuroptic.
I don't know if he has a dojo, but he did mention a clan, but you can get a few Warframes in there specifically. Wukong, I believe, is one of them, which is an extremely OP Warframe. And then Rhino is another one that you can get pretty early on, trying to get the components from Fossa in the Jackal fight. So there's definitely... It's not that difficult to get more than just your starter frame, so...
Chassis, and systems. Each of those is then broken down into 3 or 4 sets of materials that you need to collect in order to forge the respective Warframe component. Most of those components do not overlap, meaning that you'll have to gather about 9 to 10 separate materials on various planets in order to forge one Warframe. Oh yeah, did I mention that Neuroptics, Chassis, and Systems Each need 12 hours of crafting time to complete.
Okay. Yeah,
Uh-oh,
okay.
is this going to be a time gate issue?
So yes, I'm not going to defend it. There's a crafting timer here. But as you play the game, you can be doing different activities. So you can have all your parts. You start a build on a weapon or a frame or material, whatever it is, and then you do other things. So then when it's ready, it's just there for you. You're not just like, waiting for this thing. So like that's kind of the goal, is that you're doing other things. So, but I understand that that's an issue. And then there's a 3-day wait time as well for certain things. So I completely get that.
Issue like Lost Art? Again, I want to save my thoughts on this for the end, otherwise this section of the video will get bogged down and we'll never move on. Besides the exosuits, the majority of your crafting will be for firearms and melee weapons. Each weapon will need 4 types of materials to gather and 12 hours of crafting time before they're ready for use.
Alright, so I'm going to speed this up and kind of fast forward a little bit towards the end. And that way, I mean, if you're interested, you could watch his whole video. I don't want to play his whole video here. So let's just go from here and oh, the business. So Fortuna, okay.
Not as a new player. The engaging and deep narrative with lore and mysteries is not there. I've heard this game is amazing, and it's been around for over 10 years with a higher number of concurrent players than Destiny, at least on PC, sitting at around 46,000 players. So I have to imagine all of the value is thrown into the endgame and seasonal content. The general new player experience is not it. Destiny 2 is known for its satisfying gunplay and impactful abilities. Warframe's melee combat in particular can feel less punchy or rewarding, and some weapons lack the immediate heft that us Destiny players are accustomed to.
Mods.
Also, Warframes, at least the starting 3, don't have a true super ability like Destiny. You don't.
No. He didn't just say that, did he? Okay. I'm not sure if he had... Who does he have? Excalibur. Okay, so I had Volt. I mean, think about it. Volt had the speed ability, had the shock ability, had the stackable shield ability, and an amazing 4. So, like, I'm not sure that that's true. Plus finishers, yeah, I'm not sure.
Fill up a gauge, pop it, and then perform a godlike ability that you didn't have access to before. I play Excalibur, so my 4th ability, Exalted Blade, summons an ethereal sword. My melee weapon is already a sword, so the only difference is that now it can emit short waves of energy and hits harder. That doesn't feel very transformative. For me, Destiny wins on the topic of gunplay and ability usage. Where Warframe stands untouchable is movement. Unlike Destiny 2 where movement feels grounded and tactical, Warframe is all about agility and momentum across environments with a precision that feels both freeing and exhilarating. It's like being in constant motion, never tied down by gravity. I have to address that feeling of disjointedness I mentioned a couple of times before. I think I can best illustrate it with these examples. Movement, speed, platforming, and agility are the greatest strengths of Warframe. But slow down and be stealthy in spy missions, otherwise you'll be forced to start over. We have over 40 Warframes to choose from.
He didn't love the spy missions. He didn't love the puzzles. Which, I mean, listen, I had a hard time too. I'm just guessing here, but the spy missions can wear on you. I mean, I was live streaming those, so I was a little bit embarrassed that I was failing.
Suit your own playstyle, but you can't access them as a new player. Oh great, you got the Warframe blueprints, forged the neuroptics, chassis, and systems.
People are gonna get pissed.
Now come back in 12 hours so you can try this bad boy out.
Oh man.
Oh awesome, you just crafted a new Kraken pistol for your secondary weapon. Oh wait, you're out of inventory slots, and you have to spend premium currency if you want more.
No, you don't.
I know the majority.
You can earn those as you increase your mastery rank.
Of these design
and the Nightwave has them too.
Decisions come down to Warframe
just play the game.
Being a free-to-play game, so they have to add ways for you to spend money for a quote-unquote better experience. But I just have to point these out because they disrupt your enjoyment and will definitely rub you the wrong way if you're transitioning over from Destiny, where you're constantly bombarded by weapons and armor in every activity of the game. Okay, moment of truth. Will I continue to play this game?
No.
Yes. That's because I've already invested time into the journey, and because the prestige that Warframe holds within the looter shooter genre. I have to know what endgame consists of and
Okay,
why this
that's
game has
fair.
endured for so long. Do I recommend that you try this out as a Destiny player? No. At least
Whoa.
not how I did. I think you
Not how you
drastically
did.
improve your experience by waiting for some type
Destiny
of event to
players,
come around.
Destiny players, come talk to me um, if you want to know more about my version or opinion on the Warframe new player experience. I have a lot to say. I played this game now. I think it's upwards of 150 hours. So here he's played 20 hours. 20 hours is obviously not enough time to dive into a lot of this because, in my opinion, if he played 60 hours or so, he probably would have been through a lot of the story at that point. And there's so many different mechanics and progression systems that happen and open up later. This game's been out for a long time. They have added so much and kept so much in. There's not a lot of things being taken out. They leave them in, they rework them, or they leave them alone. It depends. So this is why you're seeing a lot of how would I put it? A lot of depth. A lot of depth, but over a long span of time. So
Actually, looking at their website today, you can earn a free Warframe just by logging into the
Paladin's
game
awesome.
between October 2nd and 16th. They'll even give you a Warframe slot and Orokin reactor, so it should be available for use right away.
I always give
Hopefully,
rewards.
some more experienced players can chime in on this topic. Perhaps there is some yearly event that is a good time to join.
So he just got Caliban for free. So this is the next Warframe. He'd have to do anything. And then, yeah, there's always different rewards that they give every time you log in. You get a reward. And listen, I have nothing to do with Digital Extremes. I do love them though. I think they're great. And I played Dark Sector, which is one of their original games, and I just think they're a phenomenal company. So, and they really care about the community.
For example, Destiny has the Dawning, Solstice, and Guardian game events throughout the year. If something like that takes place, I would take advantage, use that
Halloween
opportunity to
event.
hop in and start the new player grind. As for me, I will continue to play the game and document
Okay.
my
Let's
experiences
hear
whenever
about it.
Destiny has downtime throughout their episodic content. But throughout the video, I've been comparing Warframe to Destiny, so if you've never played Destiny or are curious about the latest content and builds, then check out this video to see an unkillable Titan build.
All right, so he's a Destiny player, which is great. I mean, he's played Destiny for a long time, clearly. Try to jump over to Warframe. He's not giving up though. This is a valid experience that he's having. It takes a lot to make a video and share your concrete, black and white thought of, I'm on this side and here's my experience. Here's what I think and feel. But I'm going to continue on because maybe there is something on the other side of those 20 hours that I really just don't know about yet. So, in the end of the day, I think this is a pretty good video. I think he did a great job. Geek Media, well done. Definitely watch his video. I didn't want to go through the whole thing. But just a quick reaction video because, me, I really love Warframe. A lot of that has to do with the community and the people that I met. That is a huge part of this. And yeah, there's things that I really love. There's things I don't love as much. But I mean, it's like that for any game. So thanks for watching. Until next time, just leave some comments. I love it.